You can draw this in Procreate. In today's tutorial, I'll show you how to draw 6 fun and simple flower doodles that absolutely anyone can do. I'll walk you through each one step by step so you can practice different shapes, line work, and some fun little details on your iPad. We'll be working on the standard 2000 by 2500 pixel canvas, and I've left a link to the brushes we'll be using down in the description below. So if you're ready to go, let's draw together. Let's start off by grabbing the only brush we'll be using today. It's part of the Illustrator starter kit, and if you don't already have it, go to the goodie bag at prettylittlelines.com to get it for free. And in there you'll find the sketching pencil and a load of other goodies. So here's our sketching pencil. It's just in the Character Design Academy. It's a little sample from that course. So that's what we'll be using today for our simple little flower doodles. Okay, let's have some fun. Get started. I have my brush around 25, the size, and just making sure that you have the opacity all the way up to 100. Okay, first of all, let's start off nice and easy. We're just gonna draw a line, a curved line like that. And at the top, I'm gonna have 1 loop, 2 loops, and a loop behind. From there, I'm going to just have a line here, a line there, here, and there, here, and there. And I'm just gonna have our leaves that go like this. Just gonna keep them so that they're round and then they come to a point. Okay. And then I'm just gonna add a little detail here. Like that. Maybe have this one a little bit sharper at the angle there. And then on this side, I'll just draw some lines so they all meet into that center line. Like that. Same on this side. I find it easier to go from the top down, but if you decide that this is easier for you to go up, you go ahead. I find dragging it this way is easier for me. Okay. Then on this side, I'm going to do the opposite. Do the top one, just to have a little variety, and it just makes it look a little bit more interesting, I think. And there we go. Let's just move this into the center. And those are our first little doodle. Okay, on to the next one. Let's just turn off that layer and create a new layer on top. We can just have these all on our one canvas. Nice and simple. All right, the next one, we'll do something a little bit more to it than that. So I'm just gonna draw a nice curve. Then I'm going to draw a nice U shape. And then at the top, there's going to be 3 points. So I can just give myself like a little dot in the center if I want just a little teeny marking. And I can go and just make these little peaks like that. All right. And then below, I'm just gonna erase this just a little bit. I'll have 3 little loops here. That. Okay, and then I'm going to have little lines here for where my leaves are going to go. Not quite as long as that, and they're going to meet in the middle together. And then let's do more of a rounded little leaf and a rounded. And I'm not having the lines go all the way to the end, but just nearly. All right, and last, a few little details. Little upside down teardrops, and then maybe some circles. Okay, and there we go. Our next little flower doodle. Let's just turn off that layer, create a new layer on top. Now let's get into some flowers that are a little bit more complicated. So next, we're just going to do a line. And this is going to be the reverse side of the flower. So what we're going to see is this, just these little loops, like so, like that. Now, you can simply just draw sort of a wiggly line around like that. So that's you can see the flower is facing this way. And then have another line here, just a smaller one. One here. And then, actually I've brought this in here, I would like to have a gap here. This line come like that. Just might make that a little bit neater. All right, so that kind of looks neat because it's the back of the flower. Now I would like to have this bit heavier, just so you can see that that's going through there. All right, now let's just do a few more different types of leaves. Maybe have some more branch-like. So we're gonna have like a leaf coming here, maybe one over there, like so. So it's not all exactly the same. Just make it irregular. We're just gonna have a few coming off here. Maybe like that. Okay, so we'll just have a typical leaf shape like that. You can kind of do a half one, just change it up a bit. Again, have it maybe like a half, like the side. And maybe like a little one that might be like kind of a bit of a bud. A little wiggle, maybe it makes it look a bit different. All right. And maybe just having a little detail just so it's stylized. Maybe something like that. All right. There's another little doodle for us. I hope you're having fun enjoying this tutorial so far. If you'd like to take your drawing and painting skills in Procreate to the next level and do it in a way that feels relaxing and joyful, then check out my courses over at prettylittlelines.com. You'll find lots of different styles, step-by-step lessons, and in-depth teaching that I'm sure will spark your creativity and inspire you. There's something for everyone, especially beginners, and I think you'll really enjoy what's waiting there. I'll leave a link for you in the description below so you can check it out. But for now, let's jump back into the lesson and keep creating together. Let's just turn that off, create a new layer. Okay, so you're just going to work in a bit of a circle here. So what I'm going to do is just do a swirl like that, and then kind of have it oddly return like that. Make a little bit of a lip like that. And then from here, where these join, have another little petal like that. Now, where these join, you're going to want that to overlap. So have another one here. Just make wiggly lines. Just see how that covers that. Now, same with this. You're going to cover this. So I just not doing that the whole time. I'm having them cover to create sort of a rose type of look. You just want them to kind of be balanced, so it kind of keeps somewhat of a circular shape. So if you just need to add a few on the outside, then that's fine too. Okay, so then our stem would be from the center, so just kind of mark that out. You can just do that. Then for this one, let's have this leaf go overlap, so kind of goes behind it. I'm going to make it a little jaggedy. Same with this one. Let's have this go so it's sort of peeking out from, so it kind of is behind that petal there. Just jaggedy lines. And then this one will be more like this way. Something like that. All right, then let's add our lines. Can be as detailed as you want. And then these are going to come up here and meet each other. Or you can do it this way too. I usually like that better. Okay. You can strengthen that line inside if you'd like. Might make it look a little bit nicer. Same with here, kind of make it thicker where it attaches. Maybe on this one, let's just do it on the one side so it looks like they have some highlights on this leaf. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, kind of like that. Have that break there. So what I would do, if we're going to make this just not, you know, a simple sketch, but a little bit more of a thought out doodle, I would have this line, making sure it's a little bit thicker so it comes out further, and just kind of be a little bit more mindful of some of the weights that are here. So maybe where things join, it's a little bit thicker, like here, but not going over, still keeping it neat. You can kind of play around with that, having the weights be part of the design. All right, so that's good for that. Let's just stick that in the center. So nice little simple rose doodle. Let's just turn that layer off and create the new layer. Let's do one that has multiple flowers in it. So next we'll just go ahead and maybe for this one, I'm going to do sort of a map out sketch first. It might be easier, and then to kind of doodle on top. So what I'm going to do is just sort of do like a little rough circle. And I'm going to have my stem here. Maybe I'll have like a flower here, a flower here, maybe one like here. It's going to overlap with this bit. One here, maybe over there. I'm just trying to make sure it's balanced. And then we'll have the little stems kind of meeting. Something like that. And then of course you're going to have some leaves here. So we'll just kind of see where that works. Maybe one there, some there. Okay, so that's just like a really rough sketch of, it's easier when you're doing multiple flowers just to kind of map it out. And then we can just kind of go over top. So let's just create a new layer. You can take that old sketch layer and just, if you want to, bring down the opacity a little bit just so it's not in your way. Make sure you're on your new layer. And then let's do some simple little daisies here. So I'm going to draw a circle and then a bunch of little loops here. So it's going to kind of be looking up. Perfect. And then this one, let's have it looking forward. And you can erase if you've gone over, of course. Like that. Let's have this one on another angle. So I'm just going to go and start with it like this. And then for this angle, just to make it a bit different, you can have like a shorter, a foreshortened one there. It's kind of about the back, kind of like that. Same with this one. Oops, I'm making these too big. And then you can have shorter ones in the back, so it kind of looks like it's looking up a bit. And like so. Okay, so now that we have a few sort of irregular ones, let's just fill this in with our lovely stems and leaves. can just have like kind of funny little skinny loops for our leaves. Oops. Just have them fill in that negative space. And this one maybe is lots more leaves on this. Okay. And then let's just turn this, our sketch layer we can get rid of. We can just swipe to the left and click on delete. And here we go. We have a nice little bunch of flowers. Okay, so let's turn that off, create our new layer. This one's another useful one. So let's just have this sort of curving like that. And then here we'll just have, actually I've probably made this a little bit long, just gonna shorten it a little bit. Have a small little center and then have a petal and just have a few wiggles like that. You're gonna have a space in between. And this one can overlap if you want. Something like that. And then here we'll kind of have sort of more of like a bud or just the flowers sort of facing this way. So I'm just gonna give us just a few little loops, just like something small like that. And then do a shape like this. Actually, I'm gonna make that a little bit smaller. Shape like this. Over the back here, so it's kind of peeking out. Something like that. There we go. And then you can add your details. So you can add a few little lines that they all come to the center. And that just creates that look of little folds. It really draws your eye to the center. Same here, just have them come to the base. And that looks nice. All right, let's add another one over here. And have a little circle. Just trying to be mindful of the size. I probably want it not too huge. Something like that. And then have your lines coming in. Okay. Now let's just finish it off with some leaves. So we might have a leaf that's a little bit of a different shape maybe. And let's have a leaf like this. Maybe do a wiggle. And if you do that, you can always draw a line like this and it looks like it's folding over, which that's some unique detail that you might like. And then having these sort of be a little bit of thickness here where it comes together, adds that nice little touch. All right, and that's it for this lesson. I hope you enjoyed drawing some floral doodles with me today. If you did, I'd love a like and subscribe. It helps the channel out so much so I can bring you more tutorials just like this. So love you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.